All right, let's get some perspective now with former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee. Also, Russ Vought from the Trump administration is here with us on the set. Good to see you, Russ. Governor, I want to start with you. If the Devon Archer, thing comes through, if you get these allegations that are undeniable from a guy that was on the Burisma board that worked with the Bidens, and he's under oath and he's got to tell it like it is, I mean, that sounds like a huge moment to me. I wonder what you think that would change.
Well, it is a huge moment. The question is, will the Washington Post, New York Times, the major networks, will they ever acknowledge something that's staring them right in the face? And I'm not sure they will. Yeah. So thank goodness you're covering it, because if you don't, I'm not sure how many people will know that this stuff even exists. I want to salute Congressman Comer and his committee. I think that they're taking this in a very methodical way. They're not going out there and just throwing wild charges. They're waiting to get the documents. They're going through in a way that is credible, and that's important because they can't afford a misstep. The press will be all over that. So I hope they just stay with their stuff and stick to the investigation. We need to know. Sure. And if Joe Biden's innocent, it doesn't look that way, but if he is, then we need to know that too. But it sure does look like there's some funny stuff going on in the Biden crime family.
Russ, your thought, I mean, if you get this testimony, this week or maybe potentially early next week, I mean, that has to do something. I feel like that has to be a moment where I think at least the mainstream networks, and NBC, CBS, ABC, they have to cover that, don't they?
And I think over time, the parameters for what is a Biden crime family is becoming evident to the American people, even if the mainstream medium is not reporting on it day by day. They know that something is wrong. This isn't just some guy that was a politician for 40 years and he just kind of lucked himself into it or maybe looked the wrong way. This was intentional. Yeah. This was an entire family that built their lives around this making money off of his position and being able to take money from foreign governments. I think as that becomes more clear, it will become a compelling case to the American people.
And let me stay with you for just one more question, Russ. John Durham expected to testify on Wednesday before House Intel and Judiciary after the findings of the Crossfire Hurricane. This was the investigation that crippled your entire administration. One of the many ways the government worked to get rid of Donald Trump, as they effectively did in 2020. What do you think we'll hear from Durham?
Well, I hope a lot. I mean, he's been an enormous disappointment. When we left the administration, Durham
took a long time, right?
It took a long time, but then we find out that he didn't interview and subpoena some of the key actors in the Russia hoax events. And I think it's going to be important for Republicans to get to the bottom of that and understand the hurdles that he saw and the extent to which he didn't press the envelope as far as he should. And as a result, Jamie Comer and Jim Jordan have a harder job ahead of them.
Right, they do. Governor, your final thoughts, Durham testifying in front of 2 House committees.
Well, I think what Russell said is very important, and that is that Durham should have taken it to a next level. And why he didn't, I don't know. I mean, his is like no-fat milk, when what we really needed was full-blown whole milk. And, we know that the Russia collusion story was a total fabrication initiated by the Hillary Clinton campaign. So at least we get that. But what he didn't do was to really go after Peter Strzok and Lisa Page and James Comey and all of these folks at the highest levels of government who ought to be held accountable for their knowledge and their participation in an attempted coup d'etat against a sitting and elected president.
Well said. Gentlemen, thank you both so much. We appreciate it. Good to see you guys.